Alright, hello guys, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about tone production, actually starting to get into depth about this stuff. And it's going to be a two-parter here, as tone production basically focuses on two things. Listening some, but let's get on the mechanics of two things. Buzzing and, and the quality of air coming out of the instrument. And today we're going to focus on buzzing. This means a lot of the mouthpiece here. Now, why is what is this about buzzing? Why is this something that needs to be an issue wise and important? Well, generally, what I've noticed from some students and myself, actually somewhat recently, is that when you're buzzing on the horn, it's not always the same as on the mouthpiece or as lip buzzing. And what I mean by that is that you have more back pressure on the horn, and thus you can get away with some things that you couldn't do on the that you couldn't do necessarily on the mouthpiece or lip buzzing itself. Like, for example, this is just me playing normally, just play normal G. Now I can also say move my lips apart and make it a bit of a hole in them, something that wouldn't work artificially, if I didn't have the trumpet. But I can still buzz. If I tried to do that on the mouthpiece, I can't really get a sound. If I do it normally, and you see how the mouthpiece doesn't facilitate me to buzz that poorly. And if I try and do it without the mouthpiece in general, I can't do it if I try and buzz it wrong. So I'm forced to do it correctly. And what you'll see is that some students don't necessarily have bad embouchures. Everything's going to be, right in place. Lips are generally tucked into the mouthpiece there. They're just not buzzing well. And the fact is because the horn, playing just on the horn exclusively, isn't allowing them to get away with things that if you were doing it off the horn or just on the mouthpiece, you wouldn't be able to get away with. So essentially, you're strengthening the quality of your buzz, and essentially your sound is just air passing through your lips. They're just essentially going like this. And that's what we're doing. We're just strengthening that. So, okay, we got through that. Now, something that could actually fix that. Now, it's really incredibly easy. It's just buzzing on the mouthpiece, doing it rather let's say daily. It only has to be a little bit each day. I do it generally before I do everything else, and for the most part, what I like to do is play long tones, not long tones, usually just some sort of song, maybe something like "Mary Had the Little Lamb" or. Or now you'll find, especially if you're a younger player with a horn, it's going to be kind of hard buzzing with the mouthpiece. I've had a lot of students that are just like, "Oh, I don't buzz, I don't do that," or it's kind of hard for me, so they shy away from it. Well, they're actually hurting themselves by shying away from it because you're not strengthening these muscles by buzzing correctly. And so, even if it sounds awful, it has for everybody. Just go ahead and power through it, and it will get easier. I was going to talk a little bit about lip buzzing. Uh, I only talk about it in theory. It'll have to do more when we're talking maybe about some embouchure stuff. But essentially, what I meant by doing that is that you see how my lips are touching when I'm buzzing. That's kind of the big thing about it, because when you're doing it on the horn, your lips don't have to be touching. So they're not really being efficient. They're kind of being lazy in their buzz. But as you'll notice, I'll get a little closer. You can't do that like without the horn, like or any weird mouth conjunctions. It doesn't really facilitate that. It facilitates just a pure natural buzz done the right way. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure you play on the mouthpiece, buzz some songs on it, and I know it'll probably sound bad at first. Power through, it does get better. It'll make you tired, but it'll make you sound much better overall. All right, we'll see you.